Welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour, brought to you by the Bakersfield Californian. I'm Louis Amestoy, the Vice President of Content of the Bakersfield Californian and the editor of the newspaper. I'm not Steve Hughes, but there I am. I'm your host today. Steve Hughes was just with us, and we were talking to him. We have some scheduling issues, so I think Steve's going to probably host next week for sure. And he'll do a great job, no doubt about it. Maybe we'll get Jason Galvin to come in too, as well.
That might be able to get Jason Galvin, and we can.
Steve Hughes and Jason Galvin
I'm gone,
come
you're
in.
gone. That would work.
Because you know what? I mean, that's the thing. It's like he was saying that people want to talk about motorsports. It's the height of their season, and they're excited about it. So Mike Griffith is here with us. Scott Schweitzer had something come up, couldn't make it today for the Speedway segment, but that doesn't matter. We've got photos. We got Tom Mock photos. We got videos.
We should be showing some Tom Mock photos.
Coming up this weekend is the USAC Western States Midgets, the Modifieds, American Stocks, Mini Stocks, USAC Micro Series, and general admission is $16 this weekend. Military $14, and seniors are $14. Kids 6 to 12 are $6. 5 and under are free. And as always, Mike Griffith.
Parking is free. I don't think there's going to be much camping.
No, not this weekend. It's too hot. So if you want to camp, though, it is free for you.
Little thing on the USAC Western States Midgets, I can spit that out. Rodney Gardner won the last race here and is 3 for 3 this year. So he's coming off a win in Ventura, the last race for the Midgets. Corey Elliott out of Bakersfield finished second at Ventura last week. So you should have maybe 4 or 5 Kern County people for this race. Terry Nichols out of Delano finished third in Bakersfield, the last race here. So some local interest in that. And they had the midget count has been good. There were 22 cars at the Speedway for the last race, 23 down in Ventura. That's the largest car count in a long time for the midgets. So we'll see if that holds as the summer goes on.
Modifieds have seen a lot of parity. Kyle Heckman, I think, won the last modified
race.
He
doubled up, became the first 2-time winner in that division. Ethan Dotson is the points leader, and Ethan, I don't know if he'll be here this week or not. I know he's leaving, as he did last summer when school gets out. He's going back to Iowa to live and work back there for the summer, get a lot of racing in, really help his development.
Right. So we had sport mods running over the weekend. Spain Howard.
Last year's champion got 1 win last year and won the championship and won this race. And said the problem earlier this year has not been the car. It's been between the steering wheel and the seat, and he's got that problem figured out.
What do you think his problem was exactly?
Apparently he was just having a hard time driving it. And he's got it figured out. He kind of inherited the lead here when the leader went out midway through the race. And once he got out front, he was pretty much gone. So good win for Nick. Adds another winner to that list. And as usual, the lots of 2 and 3 wide racing in the class. The
sport mod class has just been exciting all of the time, basically. Yeah. I mean, it's like the modifieds too, right? Yeah,
and a good run for Gary Dutton. He's the point leader, had to start toward the back, and he come up through the field. And a good charge at the end. He gained 5 or 6 spots in the last 8 or 10 laps, I think. He really charged to the front. Brian Holder with a good third-place finish. Wayne Kaufman with a 4th, so he's coming on strong. So pretty good night there.
All right, we'll move on now. I believe these are mini stocks.
Yeah, those are the mini stocks there. And we got the 1, 2, 3 car out front here early in the race. It's Misty Warren. She was in here promoting the chair with the autism night a while back. Right. She came in to help promote out autism. And a little reward here for her do-good deed.
So, I mean, it's interesting that the women continue to dominate the mini stock class. I mean,
she got out front, and you can just see here, she's just pulling away, and it continued all night long. She just ran away and hid from the rest of the field. And the mini stocks, the last race out, they were down in cars. Like, there were quite a few less than had been, and Saturday night, they were back up to a good number of race cars. Some went out early. Ended up with big win for Misty, though, and she was very, very pleased, very happy. So good for her.
Congratulations to Misty Warren with the win there in mini stocks. There's the Tom Mock photo, if you couldn't tell already. There you go. And then a big hug and a win and some of the reaction.
She was pretty happy. She was elated.
So there is the top 9. Schwarzenberger's name is so long that it breaks our template.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. So you've got the top 6. Obviously, there's 3 guys 3 women in the top 6, and that's kind of how it is. So
Absolutely. Great field there. Moving on to the American stocks. And they got the pro stocks.
These are the IMCA stocks.
IMCA stocks, right.
IMCA stocks, where you got there. And
not a big car count,
but... And this is supposed to be growing, and we'll see that Mike Hill, little bump right there on the very first lap. But Mike Hill Jr., who's back there in the white car, he used to be in the 159, and now that's Devin Jones is driving for him. So he's got three of his cars out of this. Is Devin Jones there in the 159, Mike back there who cut a tire and went and came back and did okay, Dave Bauer up there on the wall, and then of course Steven Johnson, who will be coming through here in the 126. He's back there, and he took his time. Once he got out front, it was bye-bye for Mr. Johnson. So another win for him, but pretty good racing until Johnson took over the point.
Here's some of the photos from this stock race, and strangely enough, there's no Gills transmission photos in that particular sequence there. Steven Johnson with the win. Here's your top 10 or top 7 finishers: Steven Johnson, Troy Patey, Devin Jones, Mike Hill Jr., and Matt Brumley running out the top 5. Moving on to the Modlights, and Jerry Flippo continuing to dominate this class.
Yeah, it took a while. Interesting here, Modlights. Kylie Forrester started up front and was running up front for quite a while. Led the first 6-7 laps.
Now, did she finally have the horsepower restrictions lifted on her?
It's looking like she did here.
Okay.
I mean,
because she's only like 10, right, or 11?
11 or 12 now, I think.
Yeah.
And she, her dad Zach had her a little underpowered there, right, to learn, but I think he may have lifted the restrictions here, and she did quite the job here. But these other guys eventually got to her, and you can see Flippo just the 13 car back there taking his time, and eventually he got out there, got the lead, and pulled away for the win.
All right, Grumpy Griff. I mean, you're one that we talk about this all the time, but what are you feeling about with this class?
14 years old, by the way.
Jerry Flippo?
Yeah.
What are you feeling about this
mini
class?
Dwarfs. It seems to settle in at about this number of cars, and it's competitive. You got Jerry Flippo, Anthony Balcazar. I talked to him in the pits before the race. Finished second the week before. Finished second. He's knocking on the door. Caden Cochran.
He's going to get a win, I think, at some point because he's.
Yeah, look at this. It's just a lot of youngsters here, so that's great.
Right. Cheyenne Flippo, Kylie Forrester. Cheyenne's the younger sister of Jerry.
And Zach wasn't racing. He injured a wrist in San Maria the week before, and so his right wrist was wrapped. So
again, I mean, a fun
he was
class.
working there in the pits. Quite a compound down there with a lot of around the Zach Forrester pits on a mod light night with mini dwarfs. There's mod lights everywhere and mini dwarfs everywhere.
All right, so here we go, and this is the
California dwarf cars.
Right, California dwarf cars.
The big dwarf cars.
Those are fun.
Those are they're a fast little car on the racetrack, and John Isabel came away with the win there.
There's your top 10 with Isabel on the win, Figaro in second, Billings in third, Sargent in fourth, and Autry in fifth. And
These
the
are
mini
the
dwarfs.
Junior mini dwarfs, I believe, here with Jet Yantis. This was
they just push each other out of the way, don't they?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty, yeah. There's a little beating and banging and going on. You see Mason Ratcliffe there in the green car. And
you're tied
there's
up.
spins everywhere. And early on, and then it kind of settles down as it usually does. It is a settle down, and they start running a lot of green flag laps.
Green lights under that thing? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's Hank Hall's. His parents
I love
are
that.
into the off-road racing. They got the green LED lights in there.
That's cool.
And great job negotiating that little pileup in turn one by those kids, by the way.
It's kind of amazing, like how they kind of figure it out. And by the way, Harvick's kid continues to show interest in racing based on their Instagram videos they keep posting. But it's interesting how quickly a child picks up how to drive a car. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, when you put them in there, and you got other senior mini dwarfs, Chloe Jones, she came through the field, good win, good solid finish by Kiersey there. So 2 girls on top lane. McDonald, Seth Wise spun out early, like on the first lap, went all the way to the back. So a 4th place finish for Seth was a pretty good drive, and Roddy Millard. So you've got, there you go, 3 out of the top 5.
And Jet Yanis in the junior mini dwarfs is kind of separating from everybody there.
Yeah,
Definitely an all area
got it
kid
late.
now.
Hank Hall led a lot of that race, and Brody Graham, solid race there by the 18 car and the 57 of Hank, and Jet came on late and got the win. Then Mason Ratcliffe went to the back on it and came back through the field.
It's interesting how there's more boys in the junior mini dwarfs, which is like what 8 and 9 year olds, if not even younger.
Well,
eight and under, right?
5 to 8.
5 to 8, right.
5 to 8. And you know what? Yeah, it seems like right now there's more boys in the juniors, and you can see in the seniors, they all used to be juniors.
Right.
And they're getting older, and a lot of the seniors are 10, 11, 12 years old, so they're on the verge of taking the next steps.
And that would be probably going to the Modlights, I would think.
Modlights, or if they want to get into a mini stock or something like that, or Bandolero out at KCRP, as Kiersey Young is doing a Bandolero.
Right. All right, great stuff as always. Mike Griffith, thank you so much for being here. Looks like we're not sure yet on our show programming for next week, but check our Facebook page. Looks like the only Steve Hughes will probably be hosting the show next week. So we'll get you more updated on that. We're going to post this on our Facebook page. Enjoy it. We hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us here on the Power Hour.